Altu Baba and Paltu. It's getting hotter.
The views and opinions expressed by the hosts, guests, or callers of this show do not necessarily reflect those of the staff or management of Radio Hotties. The content broadcast on this show is meant for informational and entertainment purposes only.
जब हमारे परिवार के बुजुर्गों की सेहत और देखभाल की बात होती है तो घर पर इन होम केयर वाला ऑप्शन सबसे बढ़िया है। अनलॉक का पेस प्रोग्राम एक ऐसा कन्वीनियंट एंड पर्सनलाइज्ड ऑप्शन है जिसके जरिए हमारे बुजुर्ग घर पर हमारे साथ रहकर यही देखभाल और सेवा का लाभ उठा सकते हैं। अब चाहे वो घर पर रहे या अनलॉक वाले पेस सेंटर में आए, उनको वही डेडिकेटेड एंड प्रोफेशनल केयर मिलेगी। अनलॉक ने बुजुर्गों की सेहत को अपना प्रायोरिटी बना लिया है। और जानने के लिए 1855-308-0195 पे कॉल करें। That's 1855-308-0195।
Top of the morning, Bay, with Good Morning Bay.
Get to know about the traffic on your way and what's news around the world today.
Some wisdom skills along the way.
Oh, and a song to hum along with and sway.
Get your perfect entertaining start to the day.
At 9 a.m. every weekday morning with
Mahima's
Good Morning Bay.
Good morning, Bay. आज भी लोग हमारी तरफ से एक प्यार भरा नमस्ते,
नमस्कार,
वनकम,
नमस्कार,
खुशामदीद,
सलाम अलैकुम,
सत श्री अकाल,
అందరికీ వందనము,
जय स्वामी नारायण,
जय श्री कृष्ण।
जय जनेंद्रा।
हमारे इस्माइली भाई बंधुओं को बोलते याली मदद,
मलाली मदद बोलते सारे फीजी मतलब बोलेंगे नीसा मुला बदल। हम आ गए हैं आपके प्यारे महिमा के द्वारा। मैं सिर्फ फालतू बाबा
and of course myself फालतू रानी लेकर आपके लिए एक और ड्राइव टाइम that's gonna make it totally exciting and totally मस्तानी बन जाने।
That's right, बच्चन। of course अभी आपको देंगे हम लोग ट्रैफिक अपडेट, मतलब रास्ते का हाल जो देते हैं सस्ते में।
It's time for the Bandu traffic update. Call us from wherever you are at 408-912-2479.
Alright, Benjan, let's talk about an accident that's reported right now on 101 southbound, north of the Adamrak Avenue in the southern part of San Jose, Benjan. There's an accident over there. The right lane is blocked because of the accident. Watch out, drive very carefully. Now, going towards east, there actually is hazard report on 238 southbound at the East 14th Street in Hayward area. Watch out for that. The next thing which I have is a report of fog, advisory of fog on 580 eastbound and westbound, Benjan. Speaking of fog and weather and everything, but it's going to be cloudy all day today. Chance of rain? No. Will it be cloudy tomorrow? Yes. Will it be cloudy after tomorrow? Very much. Will it be cloudy on Friday? Yes, for sure. On Saturday, kind of partly cloudy, partly okay, because we have an event for Pragnya happening on Saturday, but that's called the Taste of Thanks. If you want to get more information, go to pragnya.org, and it's a free event. Register karke aa jayega. We'd love to see you guys there for sure. And make sure you give thanks when you come there, Bajan. That's very important for you guys. And abhi ke liye, Bajan, a quick look at the news for you guys. Faltoni, what we have is news for our bandhus. Are we ready with the news for us, for them?
Yes.
And of course, this is your news update, Bajan. Get it right here on MediaMahima.com. And abhi ke liye, this is the news.
Fresh from signing his signature bipartisan infrastructure bill, U.S. President Joe Biden will now trek to New Hampshire, a key state in the 2022 midterms, on Tuesday to tout the bill's benefits and revive the party's slumping poll numbers. Biden and his Democratic Party are betting that bipartisan progress and popular policies are like investing in infrastructure and creating jobs can actually win over voters. The opposition Republican Party remains divided over former President Donald Trump, his supporters, Jan's 6th attack on the Capitol, and whether to cooperate with Biden on regular governance. The jury begins deliberating in the Kyle Rittenhouse murder trial. The judge in the Wisconsin murder trial of the Kyle Rittenhouse incident instructed the jury on Tuesday to begin deliberating on the fate of the teenager who killed 2 men and wounded a third during a racial justice protest last year in Kenosha, Wisconsin. The jury, which numbered 18 through 2 weeks of testimony, was whittled down to 12 for deliberations. Kenosha County Judge Judge Bruce Schroeder told the jury to begin weighing the case, which pits the prosecution's argument that Rittenhouse recklessly shot the men without justification against the teenager's assertion that he acted in self-defense. "You okay, folks? You can now retire to consider your verdicts," Schroeder said. As Congress advances the Democrats' tax plans, the wealthy are looking at loopholes in the plan already. Lawmakers are expected to vote on Democrats' social spending bill in the United States House of Reps this week, laying the groundwork for the Senate to take it up. The package would be the biggest expansion of the U.S. safety net since the 1960s, and Democrats propose paying for it by levying a 5% surtax on individuals with more than $10 million in annual income and an additional 3% tax on individuals with more than $25 million in annual income. While the White House says the new surtax could generate $230 billion to pay for the spending bill, experts and bankers say that many individuals will find ways to avoid it and that it will raise less than an earlier proposal for a billionaire's tax. Even though on paper the bill looks like it increases sharply the taxes on ultra-millionaires, in reality it's not going to have as much bite, said Emmanuel Says, who is a professor of economics at the UC Berkeley. The proposed billionaire's tax, targeting roughly 700 Americans, commanded headlines in recent weeks and elicited frustration from the world's richest man. Guess who that is, Altababa?
Jeff Bezos.
No, Elon Musk. That's right, Punjab. That proposal, which taxed unrealized share gains, was ditched after moderate Democrats opposed the plan, arguing it unfairly targeted wealth creators. Despite that, Musk sought to get ahead of any future Democratic plans to hike taxes by selling $6.9 billion in Tesla stock last week. Pfizer is coming out and saying that they will allow generic manufacturers to supply its experimental antiviral COVID-19 pill to 95 low and middle income countries through a licensing agreement with international public health group Medicines Patent Pool. The voluntary licensing agreement between Pfizer and MPP will allow the UN-backed group to grant sub-licenses to qualified generic drug manufacturers to make their own versions of PF07321332. That's the pill.
No, India, Dr. Reddy, right? Dr.
Yeah.
Reddy, guys came in that the COVID, what's the Covaxin thing? No, the pill. He actually is considering manufacturing the pills for Pfizer.
Oh, wow. So now Pfizer is saying that they will sell the pills that they manufacture under the brand name Paxlovid. It's called Paxlovid, Vardhan. Anyway, let's go on over to local news and tell you a little bit about what's going on. Yesterday, we talked about Senator Leahy not seeking re-election, right, from Vermont. Now, U.S. Representative Jackie Speer on Tuesday announced via social media that she's not going to seek re-election and has decided to retire after 40 years in politics. Speer, who's a Democrat from Hillsborough, said in a video tweet, "It's time to come home. Time for me to be more than a weekend wife, mother, and a friend." Speer, who is 71, is the latest in a handful of officials retiring from the House of Reps. So far, 7 Democrats and 4 Republicans from the House have announced that they are not seeking re-election in 2022. Speer represents California's 14th district, which includes the southern portion of San Francisco through San Mateo County to East Palo Alto. She's a member of Congress since 2008, having won re-election 3 times. So she's not going to be contesting either. Stanford is reporting some disturbing news. They had 26 positive COVID-19 tests among the student population during the week of November 8th, including 6 in one row house, according to the university's online dashboard. All of the students with positive tests have been isolated and others at risk of exposure have been quarantined, the university said. For the same week, Stanford employee dashboard shows 8 new positive tests among university faculty and staff, but the overview indicates a total of 15 positive tests when adding those outside of the university's testing system. As of Monday, Stanford, over the last 63 weeks, has administered more than 469,000 student COVID-19 tests, and 394 have come back positive. The university said in that same time frame, more than 272,000 tests have been conducted for faculty, staff, and postdoctoral scholars, with over 299 positive results coming back. 14 children have been given an incorrect dose of the COVID-19 vaccine at a Sutter clinic in Antioch. Just over a dozen parents who got their kids vaccinated at a pop-up clinic put on by Sutter were told that they got an incorrect amount of the vaccine. Pediatrician Dr. Jimmy Hu, chair of Sutter's vaccine task force, released a statement Monday night saying, "This weekend, 14 patients at our clinic received an incorrect amount of the diluent." UCSF infectious diseases expert Dr. Peter Chin Hong explains what that could mean. As vaccines get drawn out for kids or adults, you get it in a concentrated form, just like an orange juice, for example. Then you dilute the concentrate and then you draw it up in a syringe. Apparently, this was not done right, and Sutter is not coming out and saying whether they gave too much or too little to the kids, but the statement says that they immediately reviewed the processes to make sure that this does not happen again. Isn't that scary?
Yeah.
Especially for the 5 to 11-year-olds. Oh my God. Anyway, Amazon is coming under fire for holding and hiding critical COVID-19 case information from its employees, putting them at risk. Throughout the pandemic, Amazon left workers in the dark about the prevalence of COVID-19 in the workplace and failed to share this critical and legally required information, said Attorney General Rob Bonta. He's coming down hard on Amazon for not following specific COVID requirements laid out by state law. Those requirements meant the retail giants needed to promptly notify tens of thousands of warehouse workers about employee COVID cases. Assembly Majority Leader Eloise Gomez Reyes authored AB 685, which became law in September 2020 and established requirements for protecting essential workers. But Amazon has not been doing that and has put the lives of several employees at risk because they hid COVID-19 cases that are in the population.
What's happening to those guys? Seriously, Jeff Bezos' grip is slipping.
Every single person, Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, I think they're all getting too big for their own
No,
boots.
this is getting spaced out.
That's true. They're all busy in outer space. I see what you said. I see what you did there. Well, somebody who's definitely firmly on the ground is Uber. Uber is adding a new partner and a new feature to its app to help its ride-hailing and delivery drivers find public restrooms and save money on gas. With gas prices soaring to new highs on Monday, the San Francisco-based company announced a partnership with Get Upside and GasBuddy to launch a rest and save feature in its driver app. It is designed to show drivers nearby public restrooms real-time gas prices and offer them savings at select gas stations. With free Get Upside app, drivers will be able to save up to 25 cents per gallon at 25,000 stations nationwide, the company said. The savings will be in the form of cash back. In the Uber driver app, users will be able to tap the coffee cup button on the map to pause requests, then navigate to nearby gas stations or public restrooms. Uber said they can then tap resume when they're ready to receive requests again. Oh wow, isn't that cool? I'll do time to get we'll get 25 cents off per gallon.
Sure, but you also have to go drive people around.
Yeah, that's okay. You can save money, right? And make money. Anyway, in world news, Vanijan, Poland is actually turning, Polish security forces have fired water cannons at rock-throwing migrants on the border with Belarus on Tuesday, and NATO reiterated its support for Warsaw in a crisis that has left thousands stranded at the frontier in icy temperatures. Video footage released by Polish authorities showed immigrants also throwing bottles and logs across a barbed wire border fence and using sticks to break it through. And of course, President Biden and also Chinese counterpart Xi Jinping met yesterday. And during that time, Biden pressed his Chinese counterpart on human rights in a video call lasting more than 3 hours, while Xi Jinping warned that China would respond to provocations on Taiwan. According to the official accounts of the exchange, the closely scrutinized conversation between the leaders of the world's biggest economies was described by both sides as frank and direct, as the two sides tried to lower the temperature and avoid conflict. The talks, which began on Monday evening in Washington, Tuesday morning in Beijing, appeared to yield no immediate outcomes, but gave the two leaders opportunities to nudge their relationships from icy confrontation, even as they stuck to their entrenched positions. They discussed North Korea, Afghanistan, Iraq, global energy markets, trade and competition, climate, military issues, the pandemic, and the other areas where they frequently disagree. Xi, who has not left his country since COVID-19 spread worldwide from the central Chinese city of Wuhan nearly 2 years ago, compared the two countries to two giant ships sailing in the sea. They needed to be steadied so that they don't collide, is what the Chinese state media said. And in other news, Banijan, Armenia is now asking Russia to help them with their border clash with Azerbaijan, in which 15 of its soldiers had been killed, 12 captured, and 2 combat positions had been lost. This fighting was the worst since a 44-day war last year fought between ethnic Armenian forces and the Azeri army over the Nagorno-Karabakh enclave, which killed at least 6,500 people and ended in a decisive victory for Azerbaijan.
Hey, but somehow I didn't hear you talk about the party which is going on in Boston, right? People are rejoicing.
What's going on, Alta Baba?
Yeah, or are they rejoicing? I don't think they're rejoicing actually. You know that they actually elected the first female
Mayor.
color mayor, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Everybody's going woo-hoo, woo-hoo.
Her name is Woohoo.
Woo is the name. So, like, it's the first time though she's a new incumbent,
my
and everybody's like wondering
God.
who the person is and saying woohoo, woohoo, and it seems like they're partying actually. Very but right now it's time for us to go to Karaoke. I'll be back right after this. Don't go anywhere. What a nice song, Banajan. Wishing everybody find the lucky charm today. Today is Tuesday, so lucky Tuesdays for you guys, Banajan. Have a wonderful evening. It's not evening, a day actually. We're not going anywhere. Keep it idea. We're going to come back with some world news, right, Valdwani?
News from India.
News from India for sure.
बिल्ली रास्ता काट गई तो
बनते बनते बिगड़ा काम,
कोई मिरर का शीशा क्रैक हुआ तो
कुछ गड़बड़ होगी हैरान।
कदम दाहिना घर के बाहर
पहले रखिएगा श्रीमान,
अगर निकलने से पहले
कोई छीके ना रखिएगा ध्यान।
Very important, Banajan. Superstitions make us, Banajan. We are super because superstitions. Careful.
राइट हैंड में खुजली मतलब
मिलेगा प्रॉफिट या इनाम,
लेफ्ट हैंड में अगर हुई तो
आम के गुठली के दाम।
खिड़की पे कौवा बोले तो
घर पे आएगा मेहमान,
सड़क पे कुत्तों का रोना
है बुरे हादसे का ऐलान।
भारतवासी तो बरसों से जिंदा किस्मत के भरोसे, सबको ही गुड लक का इंतजाम चाहिए।
लक्की चाम चाम चाम, लक्की चाम चाहिए।
And yes, Banajan, wishing everybody find a lucky charm for today, Banajan. ये गाना और बजे आपके लिए बजे बनाने के लिए we gotta go into a news desk of Media Mahima and check out what's happening around the world. तो लीजिए Banajan, आपके लिए पेश है आज का वर्ल्ड न्यूज़.
Well, Vardhan, there is some news with regard to the Delta variant of the COVID virus that's coming out of India. The Delta variant of the SARS-CoV-2 virus now accounts for nearly all of the coronavirus infections globally, fueled by unchecked spread of the novel coronavirus in many parts of the world. So far, vaccines are still able to defend against serious disease and death from Delta, but scientists remain on alert. What they know is that the Delta variant was first detected in December 2020 in India and remains the most worrisome version of the SARS-CoV-2 virus. The World Health Organization classifies Delta as a variant of concern, a category that means the variant is capable of increasing transmissibility, causing more severe disease, or reducing the benefit from vaccines and treatments. Delta's superpower is its transmissibility, according to Shane Crotty, a virologist at the La Jolla Institute for Immunology in San Diego. It is 2 times as more contagious than the previous variants, according to the CDC, and studies suggest it may be more likely to put infected people in the hospital than prior forms of the virus. The other thing is that people who are infected with Delta carry around 1,200 times more virus in their noses compared with the original version of the coronavirus. The amount of virus in the vaccinated individuals who become infected with Delta is on par with those who are unvaccinated. So whether you're vaccinated or not doesn't really matter in the case of the Delta virus, and both of them can transmit virus to the others. The Delta offspring is what is now gaining global dominance. Many vaccine experts now believe that all future variants are going to be offshoots of the Delta. One notable Delta grandchild is the AY4.2 and is concentrated largely in the United Kingdom, which makes up roughly 10% of sequenced virus samples. AY4.2 carries 2 additional mutations in the spike protein, which the virus uses to enter cells. Scientists are still studying what advantage, if any, these mutations confer. And this is actually AY4.2 is the variant under investigation at this particular point in time.
All I ask is AY.
AY4.2.
Why?
So that's one thing that is of concern. Also, in other news in India, the Income Tax Department has detected unaccounted income of rupees 200 crores after it raided a Pune-based business group engaged in the manufacturing of heavy machinery like excavators and cranes, the CBDT claimed on Tuesday. The searches were carried out on November 11th at 25 locations in 7 cities. Prime Minister Narendra Modi yesterday visited. Did you see that Purvanchal Expressway, Altu Baba?
No, is it nice?
It looks beautiful.
Okay.
Based on what the pictures that I saw. Hailing the Purvanchal Expressway as a medium to take Uttar Pradesh towards a brighter future, the Prime Minister Narendra Modi said that he could not have imagined that he would land on the same expressway, the foundation stone of which he laid just 3 years ago.
Wonderful.
After inaugurating India's longest functional expressway, which is 341 kilometers, he said it is an expressway for the development of a new UP, a reflection of modernized facilities and a certification of turning Sankalp into Siddhi. Recounting various upcoming expressways, including the Ganga Expressway, the Bundelkhand Expressway, the Gorakhpur Link Expressway, and the Balia Link Expressway, he said that the development of the state was planned not just for 5 years, but for the entire decade, and he hailed that Yogi.
Yeah, but you know why he says Sankalp Siddhi? Why?
Why?
People who don't understand, just explain to them, Vardhani, what is this?
Well, Sankalp is a decision to do something, and Siddhi is fulfillment, right?
Wow, it's an intent and thought to fulfillment. Siddhi is what you do, action.
Yeah.
So thought to action is what he's talking about, Rajan. Very good, wonderful. I like the way this our PM is a total marketing expert.
Yeah, and then he says, he added that the state was poised for a balanced development with Samman, that is
with respect.
With for West UP, measuring equally with the Prathmikta, which is for East UP. Purvanchal Expressway has not only filled the gap between the East and the West, but will also facilitate movement of people from Bihar and Delhi.
More than respect is the way he talked about the acknowledgement for the UP. More than disrespect.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Vardhani, that's great. What else do we have? We almost come to the close of our show right
Yes. Nearly a month after the actual maneuver, the Indian Space Research Organization has disclosed that Chandrayaan-2 orbiter had to perform a collision avoidance maneuver to avoid colliding with NASA's Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter in October. Yeah.
See, they're trying to hinder our work, right?
I don't know.
My goodness, these guys, Space
They
Wars.
do recon work, NASA.
NASA.
And our Chandrayaan-2 had to do a maneuver to get out of the way. I'm imagining all these things as I'm watching.
I am imagining, I am
videos.
thinking soon we're going to have, they already are doing genetics in terms of, building those genetically engineered soldiers and everything. Soon we'll have Jedi and Star Wars happening right now.
Actually, I was thinking, how come they don't have robots fighting? But it's bad, right? Because they could take over human beings too.
No, robots fighting, matlab, a lot of, all those, you require raw material to build those robots, right? It's
Correct.
expensive.
Oh.
Hey, they probably already programmed in those things.
Oh, okay,
The
maybe.
rich people already are getting their own robots, Father. You do think the people who actually have those rooms in the houses roaming around in those for as vacuum cleaners don't have equipment to hidden in them to fight us?
I don't know.
You never know.
Maybe
Father.
maybe that's why Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, and all have got this space thing done so that they can leave.
I
When
wish,
something like this happens, they will.
I would love to
take
see
off.
what will happen when they leave and what happens to the money if they own. Will they leave it on earth and take it with them? What do they do?
No, they obviously will take it with
They
them.
distribute the money out, right? Why do you hold on to it?
Yeah.
Is what I say, for example. Anyway, right now, coming to the end of our show right now. Thank you so much for everybody listening to us patiently. We'll see you in the evening, Vardhan. Lekin, giving you one more iteration of the Gana Kira for you guys. Vardhan, any closing thoughts?
Nothing. We're going to be back tonight live at 5 on the Pam Pam Show, and don't forget to tune in then. We look forward to seeing you. Have yourselves a terrific Tuesday, and remember, lucky charm ho ya na ho, have a lucky beautiful day.
बिल्ली रास्ता काट गई तो
बनते बनते बिगड़ा काम
कोई मिरर का शीशा क्रैक हुआ तो
कुछ गड़बड़ होगी हैरान
कदम दाहिना घर के बाहर
पहले रखिएगा श्रीमान
अगर निकलने से पहले
कोई छीके ना रखिएगा ध्यान
You are listening to Radio